Hey friend, so I've got a hard truth for you today. If you've ever dated a partner who's avoidant, there's something that you need to know. Avoidant types tend to over focus on their own internal experience, whereas anxious types tend to focus externally a lot on the other person. So, an avoidant person is going to love tasking and working and focusing on themselves a lot more than they're going to want to focus on you. And they might also come across as dismissive or completely disinterested in your emotional reality, and they might need a lot more space from the relationship than you do. And this can feel like abandonment, especially if you are the anxious type in relationship. So, a lot of the personal growth world tends to demonize avoidance. They tend to make them out to be careless. They don't care about you or their feelings. They make a lot of blanket statements about them. They even go so far as to label them as narcissists. But this is because people don't actually understand avoidant attachment. Okay. And sometimes it's true. Sometimes these people that display avoidant qualities are those things, but often something else is actually going on. And I want to explain that to you now in this video. So the truth about avoidant attachment is that avoidant and anxious attachment are both just protection mechanisms, and they are ways for a person to stay safe. So an avoidant person has learned that love was never available, and that when they asked for love, they were met with rejection or neglect or abuse. Whereas an anxious person learned that love was erratically available or that it was unpredictable. So they're preoccupied with getting love and securing it, whereas an avoidant person is really preoccupied with themselves because they've learned that it's just not available or that it's not going to come with something that they want. Neither style is better or worse. Okay. So there's this idea that, anxious people actually want to do the work and avoidant people just don't want to do the work. That's not necessarily the case. Nonetheless, I would say that in some cases, an avoidant person may actually be suffering more. Not that there's a suffering competition going on here, but an avoidant person, if you think about it, they're shutting down their primal attachment system. So every ounce of energy in their system is being used to block love out, right? That takes a lot of energy. So it's not a nice experience for them either. The anxious person, however, as you may know, you're putting a lot of energy into trying to get love. But the ironic thing about that is that the things that you are doing to get the love that you're doing to pursue your avoidant partner might be actually the exact things that are going to repel them even further. So it's funny because anxious and avoidant types tend to draw each other in like flies to honey. And at the same time, everything that you're instinctively doing to try to change the situation is likely making the situation 10 times worse, and you're pushing them away. But there are actually things that you can do as an anxious type to draw in your avoidant, to invite them to come towards you and to make them open. It's not always possible, but there are things that you can do. And usually they're going to be counterintuitive to what you're naturally going to want to do to ease your own anxiety. And this is the exact kind of conversation and coaching topic that we bring up a lot in my Becoming the One coaching group, because this is a very common dynamic that almost everyone can relate to in some way. And I really wouldn't be able to walk you all through it in such a short video. But if this topic interests you and you want to learn how to reduce your anxious tendencies, how to draw a person in who might be a little bit more avoidant, how to make yourself safe for that opening to occur, go to risingwoman.com/signature and take my relationship quiz to discover if you are the ocean, mountain, or wind, and learn more about my flagship program, Becoming the One, so that you can make peace with your past, transform your relationship patterns, and come home to yourself.